Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is 8:01 on a Saturday morning. It is September the 21st. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. I'm West 2 First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris. Thanks for hanging out with us on a beautiful Saturday morning. We're going to check in, see what's doing on our Tower Cam network. We're going to look to our local forecast and then spend an extended period of time talking about the tropics because, frankly, there's some threatening data out there. Not necessarily for us, but just overall, like something may try to get forming. So let's get right outside. There's Carnival Mardi Gras there on the kind of far right-hand side. This is a live look from our Tower Cam network from Rusty's over at Port Canaveral. It is a beautiful morning at Port Canaveral, isn't it? Kennedy Space Center, where the two astronauts for Crew 9 arrive, and you can already kind of see some of those clouds developing around, right? Yeah. All right, let me take you to New Smyrna Beach, see what's doing there in Volusia County. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Inland a bit, Orlando International Airport. How we doing? We good? Yep, you're looking good to me. All right, Disney Springs, we'll check in on you. And then last but not least, didn't show this one on TV this morning, but it's beautiful, as I would expect. Epcot, Ocala looking great. Clear skies. Epcot. What are you doing, Burris? All right, let's talk temperatures. Ocala, you woke up this morning, some of you, to temperatures in the upper 60s. I saw a 69 pop up on the map. What I need is some coffee or protein with caffeine. Okay, we're going to do a little better now. All right. Temperatures out the door, 75 in Orlando, 72 degrees. That's very comfortable in DeLand, 74 degrees in Titusville. So it's a beautiful morning. Here's our forecast for the day. A couple of sprinkles this morning, and I'll show you the live radar here in a moment. A couple of sprinkles this morning, then we reset things. Then we get into a couple of afternoon showers and thunder showers. 90 degrees our high temperature. 30% coverage of seeing some rainfall today. For now, here's live first warning Doppler radar. Not much doing here, which is super okay with me. Let me just lapse this. And we see some rains here, there. Yeah, even that little shower that tried to sneak into Brevard County here. Let's just go right in street level. Yeah. All right, so Turtle Bay Place, Spoonbill Lane, little light shower snuck on in, Lakeview Drive. That's all. Nothing really ominous there. So super okay with that. Super okay with that. All right, surface map showing the old front that was sitting over us is now just sitting over South Florida. And that's where the bulk of the moisture is, right? Yeah. So add in some daytime heating today, and South Florida is going to see at least the best coverage of showers and storms. What we could do is this. I don't know that I've ever done this before. All right. So here's the rain chances for today. No surprise, right? Like kind of east and south. But I've never really like widened the shot out, but you can very clearly see like while we've got a fairly low end chance for rain, there's a pretty high chance for rain in South Florida. Medium chance through the Palm Beaches, but in our area, yeah, it's a fairly low end chance for rain. So let's dial up Futurecast and get an idea on where we're going today. There's the coastal showers this morning, very clearly, right? 10, 11, 12 o'clock. We reset things as we discussed by 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Couple of showers popping up over the metro and moving through the four corners. 4, 5 o'clock, it moves out west. And then by 6 and 7 o'clock, we start to look again off of our east coast for those beach showers. Today and tomorrow, an almost identical forecast pattern, giving us those quick passing showers. Um, but keeping the rain chances fairly low. So here we are today and tomorrow, 30% coverage of rain. We actually get even drier. I'm not saying that we're in the dry season yet, but it certainly looks like Mother Nature wants to start that direction, right? Hey, there we go. That's looking pretty good. And I've got the autumn leaves on the graphic, not only because we're starting to dry out, but because, yeah, autumn starts tomorrow. And it occurred to me like updated the graphic, but I don't know that I made it pretty. Hold on. Here's the graphic, but the word day is like misgarbledy-gooked. So hold on, let me fix this. One day. I don't know why. What is this centered? Scoot you over. Okay, that's better. Now it's centered. One day. Tomorrow, just after our coffee talk, will be the official start of autumn, the autumnal equinox, equal day and night. And then from there, the days are going to get awful short, awful quick. So there you go, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Jeannie Rowan says some graphics OCD. You think? Good morning, everybody. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything? How we doing? I'll pop up the 7-day forecast just so that we can see this absolutely beautiful stretch of weather that we have ahead. It's going to be gorgeous. It is absolutely going to be gorgeous. Look at that. High temperatures right where they should be, which, by the way, the average high is now 89 degrees. Yep. How's about them apples? I love this. This is absolutely my favorite season. I love fall so much. Love it. The smells, the sights, the season. And today, by the way, before I haven't seen a ton of comments, but do you remember? I'll ask again until somebody says it. Do you remember? Did you remember? That's today. If anybody remembers, do you remember? I'll wait. Somebody has to. Somebody? I know this demo should be there. Thank you. Monica's the first one to remember. The 21st of September. Okay, thank you. Monica got it first. There we go. All right, now everybody's trying. I'm like, I know this demographic would know this song. We don't have a bunch of 18-year-olds in this room. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Michelle. Yeah. Yeah, we're there. Okay, just checking. Like, we're there, y'all. We're there. Lorenzo's going a deeper dive. It's not the Ian anniversary. No, it's the music. Okay. Yeah, Lucas says fall, less deadly heat in college football. We trend that direction. Now, a lot of people were asking the last couple of days, like, when do we finally get those fall temperatures in Orlando? Usually that first morning in the upper 60s is early September. Here we are, the 21st of September. Doodle-doodle-doo. And we have not gotten into the upper. I was just excited this morning on TV because Ocala got into the upper 60s this morning. Suffice to say, probably not going to be on time for that mid 60s happening usually about the 1st of October. So there you go. Cats, Tats, and Gats says, I'm 38 and had no idea. Go listen to the song. We'll wait for you. Nikki says, my 14-year-old knew. That's just because you're raising your 14-year-old to know great music, right? I have to post that on my face. There you go, Joyce. There you go. So anyway, that's where we're at. Running behind. And obviously, and I showed you the 7-day forecast. Obviously, we're not getting there anytime soon. Morning low temperatures are pretty locked in the mid 70s. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So that's where we're at. No thanks. I was never an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. That's okay. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to be pretty close, but you're not going to be perfect. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about the tropics. First things first. Actually, I didn't even see, this is how busy I was with TV. I didn't even see if okay, that's unchanged. Okay. All right. So everything is actually, this one is unchanged. It is changed, so I have to change it. All right. Here's the tropical weather outlook at 8 o'clock. I just need to fix the one on the bottom right from 0-20% to 0-30%. I just didn't update it. Stand by. Making sausage, and then we can get back to our regularly scheduled coffee talk discussion. Stand by. I got to fix this. 30%. Okay. All right. So there's the 8 o'clock tropical weather outlook. There are 4 areas to monitor. The 3 in yellow, low chance of development, they're way out there. Those are not the bigger things to worry about. The thing we need to watch particularly closely is that one on the left in orange, the area that has a 60% chance of forming. Now, out there right now, it has not formed, but you kind of see moisture trying to develop here around Central America, right? We talk on Coffee Talk and we go down the deep nerd dive, but let's talk about the Central American gyre, or the CAG, which develops CAG lows. So essentially, think about it like this. Low pressure develops over Central America because that strip, narrow in spots, starts to warm. As it does, it pulls in moisture from the Pacific. It pulls in moisture from the Caribbean. It pulls in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And essentially, the CAG lows can develop where it gives a little extra spin, a little extra lift, and gives you the opportunity to develop these tropical features. It's usually kind of toward the beginning of hurricane season and then a little closer to like that tail end of hurricane season. All right. That's usually when you look for it. So keep that in mind. Let's go back to the satellite imagery here, right? And you can almost see these little areas of moisture bubbling up there. While nothing yet has formed, this is where we're at, okay? So it's important to note, which I think is phenomenal. It's important to note that we're not tracking a storm system yet. All we're doing is we're looking at models, seeing something trying to develop, and then talking about it. And I think that that's the most underrated part of all of this. We're not tracking a storm system. It hasn't even formed yet. We're watching model guidance. So consistent, so early. Okay. Now, as far as impacts go, a lot of people have been asking yesterday, is it going to hit my house? Is it going to hit my house? Anyone on the entire Gulf Coast needs to watch this because the models are flipping and flopping. These are the global models, anywhere from like Louisiana to Florida at the moment, but they're going to be shifting and tweaking and twerking and all of this sort of thing. So you've got to understand. And that's just the global models. We can go deeper, of course, and look at the ensembles. So let's do that. Let's start with a deeper dive on the computer models here, okay? Here's the American GFS. This is the new 6Z run, developing it right around the Yucatan Peninsula and then bringing it ashore there in the Big Bend. We go back one run, it was further west. We go back 2 runs, it was further west. We go back 3 runs, and it was about the same. So we've definitely noticed a bit of an eastward march in recent model runs. I don't love that. I'm sure you don't love that. Too early to tell what it eventually will do. All right. GFS ensembles. What are ensembles? If you're new to this coffee talk thing, essentially, the GFS model runs, and then we can run it 30 different ways just to get kind of more information than just one deterministic GFS. It's just a way to basically say, like, all right, I see you GFS, but what are you really thinking? And you can see I would say every single GFS ensemble that develops it keeps it now Central Gulf Coast, Eastern Gulf Coast, right? There's all of the GFS ensembles. So to that point, I mean, it's a clear sign of we need to watch. Our friends in Louisiana need to watch. Our friends in the Panhandle need to watch. Nothing is set in stone here. All right. I know if you're commenting, forgive me. I'm in analysis mode, so sorry. All right. GFS over to the European now. European model running as far out as the 6Z goes, developing an area of low pressure. And then from there, the 6Z was bringing it into the Panhandle. Let's go back and let's look at ensembles. And we can very clearly see those ensemble members. They are really Eastern, right? Central and Eastern Gulf of Mexico is what the European ensembles are going with. Let's go to the Canadian model. Canadian model is still a Louisiana impact. What about the Canadian ensemble? We'll go back. Big Bend through the northern Gulf Coast. Yeah. So there's a lot of different models trying to figure. These are the global deterministic models. Certainly the ensembles do their thing, but basically Louisiana through the Florida Big Bend is what we're looking at. Okay. But I would underscore that nothing yet has formed. So the model data needs to be taken with what it is and the gravity of what it is, which is they're guesstimating at this point. Okay, so this is the area of interest from the National Hurricane Center. Where have systems gone that formed in this area of interest? All kinds of landfalls. All kinds of landfalls. Yeah. So the whole Gulf Coast essentially is open for business. All right. So that's kind of where we're at for now. Um, for the next couple of days, we watch. But looking into next week, there is a chance nothing forms, right? So we are at a 60% chance of something forming according to the National Hurricane Center. Okay? All right. Now, questions, comments, concerns. Yeah. All right. Jeannie says, I don't like it one bit. I get it. I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Yeah. Deborah says, they seem to be thinking more East Gulf every day. Let's hope nothing forms. We're just going to have to see how this plays out. Nothing is set in stone yet. Nothing at all. Should we move plans? We have plans in Orlando. No. Look, at this point, there's nothing that's formed. We just have to wait. There's no promise that it's going to develop. And if it does develop, then we'll start to get better data. Yeah. Roxanne's asking, is Texas at high risk? All of us just need to watch. Nobody's at a higher risk than anyone else. Okay? Yeah. Sienna says, new to your coffee talk live and love the extra info. Thanks. Well, thank you for hanging with us. Yeah, we do this every day, just about 7 days a week. Models could always bring it closer to Tampa, so don't think that you're out of the woods either. No, it could go anywhere. That's why I literally I built this graphic specifically to say we're not even watching a storm system yet. What we're watching is model development, and thus it is far too early to tell where it's going to go. The entire Gulf Coast needs to watch. Eventually, I'll remove the word far, and it's just going to be too early to tell. And then eventually, we'll be able to start discussing where something could go. We're just not there yet. Okay? We're just not. So, Simadana, in the words of, was that Dana Carvey? Simadana. I will be more concerned when a storm has formed and there's a hurricane warning out. Exactly. Jeannie Rowan says, live life. Yeah. Oh, live life. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Brian says, I'm visiting Michigan at the moment. Don't want to have to come back early. I feel you there. I wouldn't want to have to come back early either. Valerie, are we talking? Yeah, it would be like late next week into next weekend is kind of the timeline for something. We just don't know what yet. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Beth says it looks like the GFS deterministic model moved east, but the ensembles have trended west. Why is that? Remember, it's different math equations. The GFS runs, then it breaks down and runs the ensemble. So it's just different mathematics. Yeah. Let's see here. You think my early Thursday morning flight is at risk? I don't think anything's at risk. Yeah, we look. I've got a cruise next Friday. I mean, do I think it's at risk? I'm watching it, just like you. That's all we can do. Shabbat shalom. Yeah, that's all we can do. You know what I mean? Troy says, I noticed the upper steering changed with the GFS. I mean, that's definitely one of the things, but it's too early to get into the specificity of it because we haven't even formed things yet. What I'm looking for is model run to model run consistency. That's all I'm looking for at this point. All right. You like the pepper? Yeah, you like the pepper? Thank you, Frank, for being the. I expected a Burris to get the reference. Yeah. All right. Rachel, are there any models not currently developing a system at all? I mean, maybe. I don't think so, though. I mean, everything I'm looking at, the European was kind of like the last to climb on board with it, and it's on board. Here's the GFS and the European kind of side by side. And the European for the longest time really wasn't developing anything, but you can kind of start to see they've both got something. The European's a little slower than the GFS. Like that's 5:30, 6 o'clock on September 28th morning. The GFS has some sort of a landfall. The European is still organizing in the Gulf. So it's nothing from timing to impacts, nothing is set in stone just yet. So yeah, we've still got time to figure this all out. All right. So that's where we're at. So do not worry. Do not worry. Did I say do not worry yet? Do not worry. Yes, Yukon it is. So much fun. Is Futurecast picking up on it? I don't think it is really. I haven't looked in the 6C run yet. Stand by, I'll go dig it up. I did the Lake Howell High School alumni band thing last night. My body is sore. All right, this is as far as Futurecast goes. Yeah, it's not actually running through Thursday. It runs through Monday. It's like 1 a.m. Tuesday. Yeah, it's like 1 a.m. Tuesday. It has nothing really. So there's your answer. Nothing really. So again, next couple of days, here's the bottom line. All right. Next couple of days, we're just watching for those models to go back and forth and back and forth. And then, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to start to watch pressures lower. And then by mid to next week, to late next week, that's when we're going to start to see something moving toward a coastline. All right. Sound good? Do the ensembles and operational get the same data? I notice sometimes ensembles on Yeah, it should be all about the same data. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So that's where we're at. Don't worry about it. Okay? Just don't worry about it. We'll watch, we'll see, we'll track. All right. I'm going to go do some TV here in a minute. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk. 8 o'clock. We'll check in on the latest data. Okay? But don't be worried about it. We are okay. You're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you all so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm not going to be wearing a suit tomorrow. I'm going to be home.